So then those are sent, right, up the ladder until it finally gets to the state level. And our state level in 12 and 16 had, well, mostly in 12, had almost a complete takeover from our movement, right, from We the People. And since then, some dropped off and got attacked or whatever, you know, and I'm not going to go through all that, but the point being is that our Iowa platform for the first time is the most conservative, principled platform put together because we did it. We the people made that happen for the first time. An outstanding job. And Tim, bam, is actually doing it with his organization. He took the verbiage that's actually on the platform.
I put it there.
He was on the committee, so that's outstanding. Right? But this is just on that one topic, though. And in the slides that I had every title that's on the platform, so everybody could see it. But every issue that we're fighting for is on there. But once the platform is made, we forget about it. We go right back to just complaining and pointing fingers at our elected officials because of a bad vote one made. And we're not even going to talk to them about the vote because we don't have the information, the platform, to go and talk to them about it, other than we're mad at them. That's our fault. That's not those elected officials' fault. We need to get engaged. And what word did you use? It wasn't chastising, but you said something that's all you're going to do. But I am chastising you.
Oh.
I'm chastising me. I'm chastising we the people because we are it's so easy to get into that. And it's the same faces showing up all the time. Well, here's something old that's new. Our platform. Find what issues that you're fighting for. Talk to your group about it. And if you're just an individual activist, the same thing. Just find online and download it. It's all there. Get that verbiage and then make an appointment with your state legislators. With your governor. And say, look, the platform says this. Why are you doing this? The platform says this and you're going off the stupid polls and what the culture is telling you. Who cares about that? And I told someone here, I think Kay, when I first got here, that we met with McConnell. And he was talking about all these different status quo things that they're tired of. The status quo that he needs to stop, but he told us that is the way they do business up there is they don't get mad or punish somebody in the leadership or in the GOP because they know that individual who they just made mad going to vote against them for the next 10 votes, whatever that might be. Whatever those votes might be for.
Unless they're actually conservative, then they don't have a problem.
Exactly.
Irritating Ted Cruz or Mike Lee.
Exactly.
Good point.
So that's going back to that list. So our champions, Ted Cruz and those guys, McConnell, which I think is a progressive Republican, which I think Ryan Pluribus was a progressive Republican, which I think Ryan is a progressive Republican.
Yeah.
And let me show you just real quick, and I don't mean to take a ton of time, and I haven't even talked about Tea Party Patriots yet, but I do this a lot. Think of my two arms as two poles. This one completely full of rust and decay and falling apart, and this one's pristine and shiny and new. If you lean those two poles against each other for 4 years, what begins to happen to this pole? The rust starts where? Where?
The top.
From the top.
Where they touch.
The progressive movement has already knocked out all of the John F. Kennedy Democrats and all those guys. Progressive movement literally taken over the entire Democratic Party. And it's now spilling over into the Republican side from the leadership down. We the People movement, right, are slowly but surely taking our country back, right? We're not here yet, but we're about right here. And the leadership saw this and sees this. So the leadership now fighting this front as well as this front. They want the power, which we gave them, right? But now they're fighting us too. So the Ted Cruzes and the Mike Lees and Louis Gomers are being attacked. So make sure you're going to your elected official and you're supporting him when he does good stuff as well. Don't just go and cry at him when he does something bad. Go and support him. Thank yous for good things that they're doing as well. The more we, the people, do that, the more we'll keep gaining ground. Okay? Okay, so that's that part. I think I beat that horse to death enough. So I'm going to talk a little bit, real quick, about Tea Party Patriots and how we can help you. We developed a handbook that's free. You can get it one of two ways. One, you can just go on teapartypatriots.org and download that kind of a copy, or register your group, or register as a new supporter, an individual activist, and then there's a little section in there. You just write, can you please send me a new group kit? And basically what a new group kit is, you'll get this handbook along with a box about that size there, and you'll get samples of swag, samples of other things that we have to offer, and stuff like that, tools that you can use. But just in this handbook alone, we come up with everything that you can think of. We got a state coordinator manual. We have in here samples of letters to the editor, how to write a letter to your senator, what it should say, how long it should be. All those types of tools in activism is in this handbook. It even will tell you how to start a brand new group. If you don't know nobody in your area, how to start a group from point A all the way to a good, successful group, and how to run that group once you get it started. It's all in here. It's a great tool. It doesn't cost a dime. All it costs is you to register on our site as a supporter, and we'll send you this kind of stuff. We periodically, almost a weekly basis, come up with what we call toolkits on every issue that you can think of. So our newest one is supporting the enforcement of the Open Skies Agreement. Right now there's two Middle East countries that are totally ignoring it, that's hurting the trade for America. That's just one example. This one, I think, is super important, and it deals with the health care. But this is just a piece of the health care bill, okay? And this is ending the congressional exemption from Obamacare. No one in Congress has to get Obamacare or fall under that law. And they'll sit there and tell you, even McConnell's person, when we met him, says, his assistant, staff assistant, said, I'm on the exchange, but yes.
They are, except they got an exemption.
Yes. Well, not an exemption.
Well,
they get a
subsidy.
stipend.
Yes, they get
Yeah.
subsidy. Yes.
They get subsidies.
They're on it, but they're subsidized like 75%.
Exactly.
Yes, 78.
Exactly right. Because they consider themselves a small business. They use the small business laws as they're a small business.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Yep.
But this is something that we can stop. It's just a piece of the health care that we can actually use and help stop.
Wow,
What else?
those scumbags.
Oh yeah, my flag, and that's kind of ironic. I used it to do that. So another thing is people are saying we need to go to DC again. We need to go to DC again, right? Well, we're going to do that. September 23rd. It's on a Saturday, September 23rd. You go to the teapartypatriots.org and you can RSVP, and we'll send you all the information. But start asking for your time off now. Make your reservations for your rooms and stuff now. And we're all going to go to Washington, D.C. again. And we're going to have a huge rally there. And the more people there, the better. And we're going to talk about everything that I just talked about here today, and listening to we the people.
Yeah.
So hope to see you there. That's pretty much all I have, but I hope I answered your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess our point is not that we look at Cruz as the end-all be-all, but that we all believe in conservative principles and values. And just like you said, he's one of the few that's out there working to advance, no matter what comes at him.
I look at this
we
like a
appreciate
war
that.
or a battle in combat. You know, we have soldiers in the field right now, and one of those champions, one of those warriors is Ted Cruz. And Ted Cruz, even though he didn't win the nomination for presidency, that he didn't go home.
Right.
He went for another tour of duty, and he's out there in the field right now, getting shot at right now.
From the back sometimes.
From the back sometimes.
Good point.
And Mike Lee is a huge
Absolutely.
piece of that. But there's some other good warriors out there
Sure.
too, but they're just a handful.
Yeah.
But the number one driving force is we the people.
Yeah.
So get engaged. Go back to your groups, have this discussion. How can we get engaged? I loved your idea of what you're doing, trying to find these 2 to 4 people. That's exactly what you need to do. Oh, and I'm glad I brought that back up. So with the Iowa Grassroots Coalition, what we're asking for, what we've been, is a communication thing, and that's about it. I've been working really hard with the design of a new group in Des Moines. And because the old Des Moines Tea Party fizzled out, I went and talked to that old leader, and we bought his URL. He had some monies in the bank, not a lot, but we took all that, and then it went to trying to find a person to run that, and we did find a new person. Part of the new wave of grassroots people that got up off the couch. Her name's Michelle Crichton, and she's going to be the head of that. But the idea of the Des Moines Tea Party in the future, once it gets going, is that their once a month meeting that they have, whatever their issues are going to be, whether it's life or whatever the case may be, they're going to work on that. And I think their main issue and main area that they're going to work on is colleges. I think that's where their focus is going to be. But there's going to be 2 other items on the agenda every month. The second one is going to be a communication link with the Iowa Grassroots Coalition. And the reason why is because the third prong is going to be the state legislators. They're going to know. Now, I've talked to Amy Sinclair, I talked to Greg Herzl, I talked to a couple others that are on board with this. So once this gets established, then they know that they can go to this meeting and when this meeting is going to be and where and so on and so forth. So that they can not only do Q&As if necessary during that part of the agenda, but to hear what we the people across the state is wanting them to be listening to. That's where the Iowa Grassroots Coalition comes in, right? So you guys communicate through either myself, Marsha Horeb, Tammy Kopsa, or even Michelle, and say, hey, look, can you put this on your agenda, or this is my input, this is something we're working on, or whatever. Can you make sure that they know that? So then when they come, it's a two-way street at this meeting. So this is a way that we, the people of Iowa, from our little groups, no matter where you're at, you said you had 13 people or something like that? About 18 people. So it don't matter how small your group is, or if you're a single supporter out in the town that has no group. You know that you can communicate through the Iowa Grassroots Coalition that has this once a month meeting. And hopefully the state legislators will hear that. And it's going to be awesome. And I'll end with this. The key to all this working is the Pluribus Unum, from the many one nation under God, the United Sovereign States of America. If Tim's group ignores the taxation group or the veteran group or the group that works with colleges, then he's on his own for what he can muster through only his people. But if Tim doesn't do that, if Tim embraces the Second Amendment group and knows when their rally is, then he tells his people, hey, the Second Amendment people are going to have a rally. Let's make sure that we go and support that rally. Because then in turn, when Tim has his rally and needs people at the State House, the Second Amendment people, he can call and say, hey, can you guys come and help us out? It's going to be the same thing. That type of teamwork, that type of pluribus unum is what's going to win and get that extra strength for we can fight these guys and get them out of office and hopefully get some new leadership up there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Great.